Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Welcome to a brand new camp. So, we are down in Skyline Valley again today, and just a little tour as time is a little bit on the short side today, but quite happy with how this came out. Since Skyline Valley dropped, I've been wanting to do a Firewatch tower build, as I thought it would fit quite nicely in the area, and yeah, pretty pleased with how this has kind of come together. Made a few changes along the way, but it's quite cool. So, let's have a quick look at where we are first up. And here we go, all the way over on the eastern side of Skyline Valley. This is one of the spots I've been looking at building, and we're quite high up on top of a hill here. So a cool little spot, obviously quite off the beaten path. There is one little spot nearby that's not marked, but yeah, not a bad spot generally for a camp this. So let's have a little look around. This spot is pretty good on the whole. It does get radslugs spawning here a lot. We've got frogs at the moment, so that's slightly better. And I've had a run-in or two with some gulpers as well, so that's not quite ideal, but it's kind of pretty flat up on the top of a hill, so I do kind of like the location for that. I had to make a few changes to this, although I am quite pleased with how the whole thing came together. Got a whole load of bits bolted onto the outside, effectively, of the Firewatch tower. And decided early on I wanted to put a shelter entrance in, and I've never done something quite like this before. I know a lot of other people have, but it was kind of fun to just sort of stand up the mine shelter entrance and sort of decorate it around like that. So yeah, we've got a few essentials out here, collectors and things like that. Got turrets, just because, again, fending off a few critters and gulpers and things like that is not such a bad thing. More essentials on this side. And yeah, my original idea was to try and work the CD shed into this one, but unfortunately that just didn't work out. They tried to get the thing to sit next to a set of stairs and feel like it was kind of complete and organic. It was just very annoying. It can be done sometimes, but it wasn't playing ball today, so I ended up going with something scrappier, and it kind of works better with the wooden frame of the tower anyway. So around the back here, we have my vendor. I do like this carnival vendor. It was a season reward earlier this year, I think. A while ago anyway. And it's quite huge, but quite fun. So and tucking it around the back there works nicely, and we don't have to fight the way into my main structure. The shed type thing there that is a stash box, and that's really the reason I wanted to use a CD shed, just because I think the two will go together really well, but I'll have to save it for a future build where hopefully the two will kind of play nice together. But I ended up building this little thing on the side instead of using the CD shed, which is my kind of couple of foundations, couple of porches from the destroyed kit, and just put those together to create a nice scrappy sort of lean-to for my brewing station, and also my symptomatic in the back there. Use the small door on this one, the small gate, because I used the large one on the other one. I had to improvise a little bit with closing the gap next to it, but it worked okay. The rug down there actually got put in as a last-minute addition because there's a block of wood sticks up here, and it decided to come back and poke right through the floor, so the rug is doing a good job of preventing that from coming back, which is helpful, and it looks alright. Yeah, managed to squeeze everything in here okay. Didn't even have to work that hard to get the symptomatic in. Sometimes I have to flamethrower all manner of stuff to persuade it to go in, but it just slipped right into that corner without any difficulty, which is very, very nice. I got a few little bits of decoration as well that I'm quite happy with too. Frogs are active today. Frog season apparently. So yeah, there's a little lean-to just tucks on the side and looks like an organic extension of the rest of the camp build. I am quite pleased with that. And we've used the covered bridge here on the front as a little entranceway, and it's come together to feel like quite a natural addition to the rest of the build, so I'm quite pleased with that. Had to raise it up quite high, but it works fine, and float a set of stairs on the front of it. Works nicely for a little entranceway. Added a bit of decoration inside. Not quite sure how I managed to get that central sign to sit right up there where it did, but when it decided it wanted to play ball, I kind of couldn't pass it up, so quite happy about that. It's a bit fun. And in we go. Lots of cage bulb lights as they give us a nice sort of homely, orangey kind of tungsten light rather than anything too kind of white and clinical, which works quite nicely for this build. And our core crafting area down here on the ground floor. So yeah, I do like the frame of this. It gives a really nice vibe, and it does feel like the sort of thing you might try and reinforce and make a little home out of, so quite happy with that. armor bench down here, and my punch card machine. A few essentials. Everything's within easy reach that you need to get at quite quickly. There's scrap boxes and stuff like that, so I'm quite happy about that. Got my weapons bench and my tinker's bench in the back there. There was quite a big gap between those two fences at the back there, and I couldn't get them to sit any closer together without it either looking bad or, you know, just refusing to play ball. But I figured putting that surfboard in the gap would close it up quite nicely, because there's not really a lot of call for surfing in West Virginia generally. So I thought it would be kind of more useful to nail to a junk wall. It worked out nicely. And managed to squeeze that power armor station under the stairs as well, which I'm quite happy about. Got lots of little bits and pieces sort of just tucked into corners and pushed out of the way and that sort of thing, and kind of works to create that lived-in vibe, which I quite like. On our way up, we've got not much on this little sort of midsection here, because pathing would become an issue quite quickly. Nonetheless, does the job, a little bit of flavour, and we will head up into our rather nice and homely watchtower. And yeah, I wanted to try and do a slightly different version of this to the one I did last time, which is challenging given the shape and size of the space, but put the bed somewhere else and made a few adjustments. It's come out very, very cosy, I think. I'm quite pleased with that. Got a few rugs down and a few soft furnishings thrown about the place, and it's, notwithstanding the holes in the windows anyway, it's come together quite as a nice homely little space. Somewhere to sit, chill, have a drink, listen to the radio, read a comic, something like that. Make plans on the pinboard there. This little fella over here is on the current season, and yeah, he's a bit weird, but he's kind of fun. Let's see, I've covered up the windows a fair bit. Partly to just kind of block out the light, and partly to make it feel more complete and homely. And combined it with a load of hanging bits and pieces as well. The flags there, the Union flags, it comes together quite well. Pity about the little flickering texture there. I don't think that was a problem in the past, but it is now, apparently. So I added those pillows on the bed by using the chessboard display unit from the last season, which is quite a handy little object. Just put the chessboard on the bed, put a pillow on it, and then positioned it, and then just took it over to a pressure plate and merged them together, and voila, nice little result. Had a little bit of a hard time working out which cooking station to use and where to put it, but ended up going for the barbecue just out here so that it works. And it's out of the way. Doesn't make too much sense to have it inside where it can set the whole place on fire, but out here it works okay. Also from the current season, the binocular things, I guess. They do apparently, I think, have an animation to them, but I've not tried it out yet. I only just put them down recently, so I thought they made sense on the corners of the lookout tower. And a couple of little benches as well, just to give us somewhere to hang out. I do like it up here. I added those White Springs lanterns as well, up here and just sort of below this level as well, just to give it a little bit more interest and visual flair, and I do quite like the effects. They didn't put out a lot of light, in fact they put out almost none, which is surprising considering they look like they should be bright, but they do add a nice little bit of style and flair to it all. Yeah, I wish this thing was a little better repaired. I was thinking if you could board up the individual windows or something like that would be nice. We have the window boards obviously, but they're not really the right thing for that. I think if I was going to set up shop in here, replacing the glass would be difficult, but you might be able to find plywood or something to nail over and keep the worst of the breeze out. But yeah, all in all, quite homely. I like using their little paper lanterns as well in here. I've got a light at the top, which I think I forgot to show. It's generally putting out quite a nice light, but the paper lanterns sort of add to that warming effect as well. Comes together for a nice cosy little home with all the essentials. Yeah, not the longest build to put together this one either. There was a little bit of faffing around while I figured out that the CD shed that I wanted to use wasn't going to work, and then most of it was decoration, and sort of went fairly detailed on that. I'm quite happy with the results all in all. Yeah, this little rubber mat here kind of draws the bridge there sort of in and makes it feel like more part of the structure, especially from the inside. Not quite as effective from the outside, but that's fine. And yeah, all in all, quite pleased with that. So there we go. Nice little Firewatch tower, keeping the Skyline Valley vibe going quite nicely there. I think got a lot more things I want to build and a lot more places I want to build them coming up as well. Speaking of, there is a link somewhere around a video on cool camp spots featuring this one and others as well. In fact, I've done 2 of them now. So if you want to check those out, have a look around. Loads more videos linked around and playlists and stuff like that for other builds and stuff if you want to check those out. Like, subs, notification bell, all that good stuff if you want to is always appreciated. And join us for live streams as well if you want to. We're playing 76, playing Fallout 4 on the side as well. And I've been really enjoying Stalker as well at the moment. That's good fun too, so join us for that if you get the chance. And if you'd like to support the channel a little bit more, channel membership's available down below as well. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.